every once in a while, not all the time, but definitely every once in a while, you'll get a game that just begs you to do and complete everything available to do, in the game. It's not that you necessarily buy the game setting out to platinum it or 100% it, but just playing the game is so fun and so rewarding and so enjoyable that before long, you've 100%ed the game, you have the platinum, and you enjoyed every second of it. That game for me was Spider-Man. It was definitely one of my most anticipated games of the year. Huge Spider-Man fanboy over here. But I didn't expect to enjoy it like this. I didn't expect to play it this much, get this much out of it, and to walk away 5 days later with a platinum. But that's what I did, and I gotta tell you, this game is infectious. Right from the very beginning, that opening scene of suiting up as Spider-Man and going to take down Fisk, right all the way up until the end, and I'm so sorry for using this terminology, I felt like Spider-Man. Okay, there, I said it. It's not a Spider-Man review unless you say that phrase. Look, it's a really good game. I'm gonna tell you why, but first I just gotta say that I've been playing Spider-Man games for as long as there have been Spider-Man games to play, alright? And there's been some good, there's been some bad, and a lot of bad, and some more bad, but this is the best Spider-Man game ever made. Before we get into why, I just have to say that this is the definitive Spider-Man experience. It's better than 04, it's better than, it's better than any of the other ones that came before that. It's better than Friend or Foe, it's better than Web of Shadows, it's just better than all of them. Granted, most things are better than Friend and Foe or Web of Shadows, but that's just a bad opinion that I hold. So anyways, this game is, first of all, beautiful. I mean, just look at it. Look at this game. It's magnificent. All the talks of downgrades didn't really pan out there, did it, guys? It's a beautiful game, and it plays so well. The controls are actually a lot deeper than you think it should be at first glance. I mean, even when you go back to the old school Spider-Man 2, of which this game definitely takes heavy inspiration from, it definitely has a lot more to do with Spider-Man. The controls and what you're able to do, are a lot varied, a lot different. There's a lot that carries over, holding down the jump button and sprint to do a super jump like you could in the old games, or how the webs need to attach to every individual surface in order for you to actually be able to swing, or things like that. But there's a lot different as well. Instead of using double triggers, it does only use the one trigger. I thought I was going to be disappointed by that, but it does streamline it. It does make it a little bit easier, but somehow still gives you more control. It's weird. They were able to really pull off this web swinging without a hitch, and it just feels so good. All the gadgets feel really good, being able to whip stuff around. The environment also feels really good, zip into enemies. It basically uses Arkham combat as a base, but it doesn't just steal everything from Arkham. It does have its own flair, its own unique stuff to it. I mean, you're Spider-Man, so naturally you're going to be able to kind of be more aerial, jumping around, flipping around, doing all kinds of stuff. It's great. The combat feels amazing. This is, I mentioned Arkham, so I gotta make this comparison. This is Spider-Man's Arkham. What Arkham did to Batman games, this is Spider-Man's version of that, and I can't wait to see where they go next. So gameplay-wise, it's amazing, but how about that story, The story is very important. So the story is great. Definitely the best Spider-Man story. I saw a bunch of people, saying things like, this is the best Spider-Man movie ever created. and they're saying that for good reason. It is really great, and it feels super true to the source while also being its own spin on things. And I like that. I like when it's not just, exactly, the source material. Kind of, I'm sorry for using this comparison again, kind of like the Arkham games, they have their own universe, but they obviously take heavy inspiration from the comic universe, and things like that. So there's a lot that's going to be different about this game than is going to be present in the comics, but there's a lot that's going to feel familiar to anybody who's read a Spider-Man comic or seen a Spider-Man movie. A lot of references as well, which is great. Really good lore and world building as well in this game. I mean, a lot of the side quests or some of the side activities like collecting the backpacks really reveal a lot about Spider-Man's past and kind of the things that he's done and had to go through, as his Spider-Man career, because he's definitely a lot more experienced of a Spider-Man in this game than he has been portrayed in other games. He's been Spider-Man for 8 years. He's been taking down, the Kingpin and all that stuff this whole time, but he still has fought other baddies. He'll remark about other fights with Scorpion or Rhino or whatever. I mean, this game begins and they're all in prison. He's already put them all away. It's not until the prison break that you see in the trailers, so that's not a spoiler, where he actually ends up starting to have to fight them all again. But it's just, I can't delve into spoilers really too much, but I can say that the story is very effective at what it's trying to do, right? The emotions that it wants you to feel, it's great. It takes a lot of risks that I was not expecting, and I think it pays off. Definitely can't wait for not only the DLC season to wrap up so we can have a completed story, but also for the inevitable sequel that is going to happen, because this game sold just so many copies. It's kind of insane how much this game sold and how much money this game is making, but it's going to be great. And not that the story is incomplete by any means, just that the DLC, the City That Never Sleeps DLC, it is an episodic thing. So we have episode 1 right now, but as episode 2 and 3 are going to finish that story. It's all kind of the same story, just split up into 3 episodes. So the main campaign is super great. Took me about, I'd say probably about 30 hours or so, maybe a little longer, to complete all the main stuff. And then with 100% completion, that was, probably close to about 40 hours. I did platinum this game. I did do everything possible to do. The only thing left for me is to, obviously the DLC stuff, and then random crimes will still pop up even after you've completed all the crimes. And then I guess going for extra times on all the challenges, like better times and stuff, there are still things that you can do like that, which is pretty neat. But honestly, just swinging around Manhattan is just so much fun anyways. I come back to this game just to hang out. I come back to this game just to sightsee and just swing around the city. It just feels so good. It reminds me a lot of what I used to do as a kid, PS2 Spider-Man, just swinging around and doing nothing, accomplishing absolutely nothing, not even solving crimes, just swinging around the city feels so good. It's its own reward, really. And getting good at the swinging does take some time. It is not the most, it's definitely got its complexities, which makes it a lot more fun to master, and mastering that it's great. It feels really good, and it's just great. My favorite thing about the story, though, because I'm railing off here, because I wanted to do this review free form here. My favorite thing about this game is it's the characters, man. It feels so good having these characters represented this way, and have my man Yuri Lowenthal, and of course my girl Laura Bailey, or as I call her, Laura Bay Lee. I'm sorry. Yeah, Laura Bailey is MJ, Yuri Lowenthal is my man Spider-Man, and then there's a bunch of awesome supporting cast as well. All the villains were voiced excellently. Miles is voiced excellently. His family as well, super great acting with them, and Aunt May, for the couple scenes that she's like really involved in, definitely great performances by all the supporting cast. And it's really good to see like a really solid, well-made, big budget Spider-Man game, because all the ones before this have been like super budget games. But this is definitely, it's a real AAA game, AAA voice acting, AAA presentation. It's really nice, and it's kind of funny to see Laura Bailey and Yuri Lowenthal back together again, because you all know I love Persona. They're in the Persona 4 cast as 2 of the main characters, so it's just kind of cool to see them again together in a different context. They're great. I love them. Another Persona veteran, is also in the cast in the DLC. Erica Lindbeck, she plays Black Cat, so that's kind of great to see. She was Futaba in Persona 5. Yeah, the voice acting is great, the cast is great, all the side quests were really great. Obviously, there's a lot of villains that aren't in this game that they're definitely saving for a sequel, but the ones that are here, I was like super impressed with. I mean, Screwball's in this game, like, damn, that's super obscure. And they just do some things like that. There's definitely some setup for a sequel towards the end, which I don't mind. I don't think it's a bad thing to set up for a sequel in your first game. Like, some people just think like you really need to have just the game by itself and there should be no setup at ever. Everything should wrap in a nice bow, and it does for the most part, but there is still certain plot threads that are going to be, you know, expanded upon and explored in a sequel, and I'm excited to see where they go with this, because Insomniac has proven to be pretty big Spidey fans and that they can handle this job. I know a lot of big people's concerns were, can they handle this? But I don't know why you doubt it. Insomniac is great. This is by far my favorite game they've ever made. Feels like everything they've done this generation has been leading to this. First, you know, Sunset Overdrive with the open world and the movement mechanics, and then, you know, the Ratchet and Clank remake, you know, getting that the presentation down and old school nostalgia done right. And it just it all works. Everything in this game just really works well together to create a really amazing Spider-Man experience. And the only way I can really delve deeper into this game without going, it would be going into spoilers, and I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm not going to give you spoilers. Just know that this game is amazing, and from a gamer's perspective, as well as from a long lifetime Spider-Man fan's perspective, this game is awesome. Alright, it's just really good, and I just feel like this is a really special game that we don't get often enough. Okay, this is a really just solid game that I think everyone should play, whether or not they're Spider-Man fans or not. It's really good. You're gonna get your $60 worth of it. I'd platinum this game without even trying. I wasn't gonna go for the platinum. I just had other games to play, but it happened. It happened in 5 days, guys. Happened in 5 days, and I'm still playing this game regularly. Another thing is the attention to detail. I gotta say, because we're watching one of the craziest attention to detail moments I've ever seen. The attention to detail is insane in this game. If you kick someone off a roof, because Spider-Man does not kill, but you can kick people off roofs. If you kick someone off a roof, Spider-Man, as he's throwing them off the roof, he'll attach a little Spidey detonator onto them that'll flip them onto the nearest building. So they will not fall, they will not die, they will immediately attach to either like the ground if you're low enough, or the nearest building, or like a street sign or something. They will attach to something so they don't fall and die. It's gonna hurt, definitely, but they don't die. That's all that matters. Just a detail they didn't have to put in, but they did, and it works really well. Also, photo mode. Photo mode's really good. Photo mode's never a bad thing, and you can create some really nice photos. There's a lot of cool stickers and filters and all kinds of stuff, and it's nice. There's just so much packed into this game, so much Spider-Man lore, so much Spider-Man love just really, really thrown into this game that it's just kind of mind-boggling, and this is by far one of my favorite games of the entire year. And I don't even know what else to say, man. I mean, look, is it completely flawless? No, it's not. There's some things that kind of bug me about it. Some of the enemy types can be a little frustrating, but and some of the side missions can be a little bland, especially the research stations. Those were a little bit eh. And the amount of city crimes you need to do to actually get the platinum is just a little insane. But other than that, it's just so great. There's so much in here. Avengers Tower, all the other kinds of Marvel representation, not even just Spider-Man representation, but Marvel representation in general is all very well shown off here, and it's great. It's a great game. It is a 10 out of 10, spoilers, and I know you guys are probably sick of me giving 10 out of 10s out, but look, I'll stop giving 10 out of 10s out when the games that I play stop deserving 10 out of 10s, okay? We'll see, but yeah, this game as it stands, definitely 10 out of 10 worthy, okay? And I'm really glad that I lived long enough to see Spider-Man done justice in a game, because it has been a long wait for this. So let me know what you guys think. Are you playing the new DLC, or have you been playing the game, or are you already moving on to other games? Just, let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I know this video is a lot more freeform than normal, but still, I just had to talk about this game somehow, and I felt like the only way I could really do this game justice was to just speak from the heart. So this video has no cuts, no edits. It's just one long 15-minute rant from just one guy talking about a game he really loved. But let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Stay classy.